Whenever there is a funeral, most of the time it's unplanned. Most people think that a funeral is something that they should and can put off because they have time. Well, the thing about death is untimely, and you can't necessarily plan for it. What you can do is you can prepare to make sure that your family has protection just in case something unfortunate happened to you, especially if you are their financial provider. If you are your family's primary means of finance, then life insurance is not meant to cover the costs of a funeral. Your life insurance policy should be a replacement for your income. Your life insurance policy should make sure that your family not only having to realize what life looks like now that you're not a part of it, but your family has to realize what life looks like without your income also. So when you don't have life insurance, or when you do have life insurance, a Preneeds policy is always the better supplement or the better addition or the better primary to have when it comes to burial insurance and making sure that your final arrangement and burial services are taking place. When you don't pre-plan your final arrangements, then that is referred to as at need. When you do pre-plan your arrangements, that is referred to as pre-need. I specialize in pre-need. I am licensed by the state of Alabama as a pre-planning advisor. So I meet with individuals that have life insurance, that don't have life insurance, that feel like they need a little bit more protection for their families. And I meet with them individually. I meet with them at their homes. I meet with them at any one of the locations of the 3 funeral homes that I work for. And I inform them on the benefits of starting a pre-need policy, such as with a pre-needs policy, you can't be turned down due to previous conditions such as even cancer and heart disease. Most everyone is eligible for a pre-need policy. Also, within that pre-need policy, unlike a life insurance policy, you don't pay for it for the duration of your life. With a pre-need policy, once you meet your targeted goal, then you no longer pay for it, and your entire funeral plans and arrangements are taken care of for the rest of your life. And should you move, should you relocate, should you retire and go and live with your kids in northern Alabama or in Utah, in New York, in California, when you have a pre-needs policy, your policy follows you wherever you go. You have that protection built in with Dignity Memorial. Also, when you have a pre-needs policy with Dignity Memorial, your grandkids are covered under the age of 21, and those grandkids that are not married. It doesn't matter if you have 1, 2, or 10 grandkids. Whatever funeral arrangements you pick for yourself in a pre-need arrangement, your grandkids will also receive that same funeral service should something happen to them before they reach the age of 21 years old if they are unmarried. There will be no cost, no fees, nothing out of pocket due to the family. So even if you're on a family vacation, for instance, and there's a terrible car accident, and unfortunately, 3 or 5 of your grandkids don't make it, you're going to have 5 individual full services for each of your grandkids that mimics whatever service you chose from Dignity. Also, one of the biggest benefits of a pre-needs policy is that it freezes the cost. There are no discounts in the funeral industry, and there are no payment plans for at-need situations in the funeral industry. So a pre-needs policy is the most effective 100% surefire way to get the best discount, the biggest discount you can possibly receive. So for example, say for instance that you purchased a pre-need policy 15 years ago and something unfortunately happened to you this year. Instead of paying this year's rates for your funeral services, you're only going to be entitled to, you're going to have to pay the rate that people would pay 15 years ago when you started your pre-needs policy. So that is the best way to secure the better discount for all of my savvy, cost conscious investors and buyers, and especially for those people that are financially responsible for their households and their families, those men that are the captains of their own ship. For those types of men that really have a pet peeve with, being got, with the consistent gotchas in life that most people can avoid, this is the number one way to get your lick back. To make sure, as a matter of fact, that you never have to get your lick back. This is the number one way to make sure that you are the ace in the hole when it comes to your final services and your final wishes, and you have the opportunity to start that legacy for your family as well. So my name is Cedric Johnson. I live in Mobile, Alabama. I work in Mobile, Alabama, Daphne, Alabama, Spanish Fort, and Grand Bay, and I service all of those areas through Dignity Memorial. We own Radney Funeral Home in Mobile off of Dolphin Street, Radney Funeral Home in Saraland, and we also own Pinecrest Funeral Home Cemeteries off of DIP, and we also own Pinecrest Cemeteries West. So if you are interested in any cemetery or funeral needs or pre-need arrangements, especially pre-needs, that's what I specialize in. Maybe you already have a pre-need arrangement, and maybe you just don't know what all is covered underneath that arrangement. Maybe you forgot, and you need to be abreast. Well, I am trained to read all of your contracts and interpret them for you so you can have an understanding of what protections you have today from your pre-need contract. So, if you're interested for more information, I would love to give you a free planning guide. The planning guide is a wonderful, powerful tool that we use in the funeral home industry. It's a book where you record all of your personal information, and it also tells you the information that you need. Also, it gives you the information that you need for the filing of the death certificate. Um, when I speak to clients, most people tell me, "Oh, my kids know my wishes. I have it written down somewhere. We talked about it a million times, and I keep money in my top drawer that I save and add to um, over time to cover my funeral costs should something happen." Well, that's not the best or the smartest way to handle that approach because one, you're not saving or freezing any costs for yourself as you save that money over the years. So you're still going to end up paying whatever everyone else pay when you've actually been doing the diligent work of putting away for this event for yourself. So you should receive the benefits of that. So if you want more information and you want me to deliver the pre-planning guide with you and have a conversation with you and your family about services that you may need for your final arrangements, please give me, Cedric, an inbox on here, or you can contact me on my contact information that I will have on my profile. Thank you so much for your time, and you have a good day.